Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Command, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday, which means we're in the middle of the week, and which also means that it's time for us to get raw. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to talk all things Monday Night Raw. We had a really interesting Monday Night Raw this past Monday. Jey Uso really standing on business, but he's got Logan Paul to look ahead of this coming Saturday. It's Saturday night main event. We've got Saturday main event this Saturday. Pretty big Saturday night main event. And then of course Money in the Bank is right around the corner on June 7th, and those qualifying matches have already started. We're about halfway there as far as qualifying. Okay, before I get too deep into what went down on Monday Night Raw, I gotta bring in my amazing co-host. She's divinely designed. That is Annie O'Neal. What's up, Annie?
What's up, Con? It's Wednesday, and you know what we do. It's time to give it to everyone raw. It's what they ask for. That's
That
why they tune
is
in.
right.
Yeah.
Fact.
Jey Uso really stepping out as a very viable heavyweight champion. And it's one of those things you might not have seen it before. I mean, and obviously if it's trending that way, yeah. But really coming to his own as a formidable threat. And what
Yeah,
better person than to cut your teeth on than Logan Paul?
true. True. I mean, he's got Logan Paul to look forward to for sure. But that's a whole nother story. What I'm seeing is exactly what you said,
Mhm.
and that's the fact that it feels like the Jey Uso is really coming into his own as world heavyweight champion. And it's been something that's been sparking interest inside within me as I've been
Mhm.
seeing it. I think his promo work has gotten better.
Mhm.
I think his crowd control has gotten better. I think that him being involved in the main event storylines, whether it be Logan Paul's coming after him, Gunther's got his hats, trying to throw his hat back in that ring. Then you got Seth Rollins and his faction behind him with Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. Right now, the World Heavyweight Championship
Mhm.
scene is getting really,
Yeah.
really crowded in the best possible way with Jey
Mhm.
Uso at the very top. I
Mhm.
think that and plus another thing, I even saw
Mhm.
before we got on the show here, just about an hour or so ago, I was on Instagram looking and seeing, because that's what we do. We see the news, see what's
Mhm.
going on in the wrestling world, and I saw Jey Uso's Instagram page, and I saw that he had a moment where he granted a kid's wish. He's granting
Oh my
wishes
god, that's
now.
amazing.
He's taking that seen as top guy, top babyface type of role and really owning it. Like I said, I think his promo work is super
Jey
solid.
Uso
I
is
don't
for the
know. I think
kids.
that Jay, he is,
I
he
got, I got
is,
a
and
question for you,
I
Con.
think, yeah,
So, if you 6 months ago, and you would have known that there's some pretty like heavy elements at play right now. Jey Uso
hmm
6 months ago, do you think he would have been overshadowed by all of the things at work right now? that are playing out
Wow, that's
in
a good
WWE?
question.
I know, right?
That's that's a good question.
Mhm.
I think he would be overshadowed.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
that he's at a different trajectory now that he was at 6
Yeah.
months ago, and it's completely different, Annie. It's completely different.
So,
It's
okay,
not the same at all.
I don't foresee a long title reign, and I don't think he needs it. Like, I think it'll
Doesn't.
come a point where in time where it's going to be just natural for him to let go, and then like I don't think the crowd response is going to change, and I think that's at play for Jay Uso right now. But with how Jay Uso is shaping up right now, where do you foresee him going in the next 6 months?
That's a good question. Where could he be going in the next 6
Hmm.
months? Well, I definitely don't think he's gonna be world heavyweight champion
Sure.
6 months from now, for sure, and that's not anything against Jay. I
No.
just think he's going to be, like you said, to your point, which I agree
Hmm.
with, is that he doesn't. I don't think he's going to have a long world heavyweight championship reign, nor does he
Hmm.
need to have a long world heavyweight championship. This what the point of this was to and is to get the doubters to be like, oh, he's main event Jey Uso. No, 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 no.
Hmm.
He's main event Jey
Right.
Uso because
Right.
not only can he win the IC title, then he can win the Royal Rumble, then win the championship at WrestleMania. Yeah, he only really needs about a good 3, maybe 4 months with some solid championship reigns in there. And, as long as he loses it to somebody that it makes sense to,
Mhm.
nobody's going to talk bad about his reign. We're
Mhm.
going to say it was a decent reign,
Is he
you
a Grand
know?
Slam champion?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, he's
It's
won
a pretty
he's
hefty
won a total of.
accolade. Mhm.
Yeah, IC champion, world heavyweight champion, and of course his runs as tag team champion for
Mhm.
sure. So yeah, I think honestly, I think he could lose the title tomorrow and he's cemented himself as a guy. You know what I'm saying? And when I
Right.
say a guy, I mean one of those guys that's like Roman
Mainstay
Reigns,
Jey Uso.
Seth Rollins. What is
Mhm.
it?
Mhm. Mainstay Jey Uso.
Exactly. Yep. Cody
Mhm. Mhm.
Rhodes. You just know that he's a guy,
Mhm.
so I think he's already cemented that. But I think they're going to give him a decent run. But the reason that I'm saying all that is to say this. I really think that he is growing into this championship reign as we're seeing it. It's kind of early to say that just because it's only been a few weeks since
Mhm.
WrestleMania, but it's all right. I'm going to lay my table when I'm saying it. I think he's been solid. I think he's grown into being a champion, and I think that he could lose that title tomorrow and absolutely still be a guy
Mhm.
company.
And, do you think it's too soon for Gunther to be in that, title picture so soon after, being ejected from it?
So I'm glad. Um, I think we are starting, and I say this as a Gunther fan. I
Mhm.
say this as
Mhm.
a guy who loves Gunther. I enjoy Gunther's work. I think Gunther is beginning to fall prey to the Charlotte Flair syndrome. If you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
you know what I'm
no.
saying. Is
Oh,
that
no.
we don't know what to do with him if he's not chasing a championship.
And I can 100% understand why you say that because if he's not holding gold or he's not on the chase for it, then what else is there for him to do? Because is he necessarily a storyline guy? I mean,
That's where this is okay. So Gunther, real quick, and trust me, guys, we're gonna break down other things that happened on Monday Night Raw. And we're definitely gonna get to the comments as well. But me and Annie are just off to the races. This is what we do here at the Raw Deal. Gunther is one of those guys who I think, honestly, I I think Gunther's work is underrated. I'm not even gonna
I
lie.
agree.
Like
I
you think,
agree.
like you think Gunther, and you think, my God, one of the best overall
Mhm.
wrestlers in the company. He's got size. He can get on the mat with you. He can fly. He can submit you. He's a powerhouse. All of it. All of it. He can do all those things. And
Absolutely.
he's an underrated promo. Like even when I was hearing him speak on
So
Monday Night
good.
Raw, he's
Like
good.
like
He's good. And he knows how to deliver the promo. He's damn good. But it's like you said, when he's not chasing a title, why should we care? That's the thing. Why should we care?
and who is going to pull a good storyline out of it? You know, he has the elements available to really give that great character work, but I don't think that's something that's gonna need to have so much believability to it. And who is going to be able to dig deep down inside of Gunther and bring out a really solid storyline?
That's
And
a good
and
question.
what other I don't want to see him typecast as just like a generic Bond villain either, because that's that's the that's the vibe I get.
So the short answer to your
Mhm.
question, or you weren't asking, but you kind of, pseudo
Mhm.
asking, like,
Sure.
who's going to pull that out of Gunther? First name that came to mind is I'd like to see Gunther have a feud with CM Punk.
Mm, the best in the
I
world.
think Punk.
Absolutely.
I think Punk can pull it out of him.
Mhm.
I think Punk's a story guy.
Yeah.
Punk, can find something that's going to separate Gunther from being a champion.
See, Khan, you see such good things that just prompt more questions that I want to know the answer to in my head. But like, I know you want to move along. Wait, there's so much to get to tonight.
There
Like,
really is.
this is
There
a
really is.
really jam packed
And
episode.
it for sure is. It was a solid
Mhm.
episode. That once again we saw Jay Uso there, and we saw Logan Paul, get kicked in the mouth. He got super kicked
Loved it. Big
by
fan.
Logan Paul, who
Doesn't
started out
matter
the
by who.
show. He started out the show.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
thought that was a
and I
really
listen.
interesting choice. And I'm like, oh god damn it. Oh, I don't want to see.
Yeah, I'm like, of all people who could come out, it's gonna be this guy.
You know, I can imagine being in Greenville, super excited that the show's about to start, the lights go down, and then what do you hear? Uh, I'm good looking and I'm humble, and you're like, great, great.
Like, oh
They're,
man,
yeah,
I can only imagine how many people turned their TV off when they saw that guy
you
on
know,
there.
I have to watch it. We have a show to do, so I'm on board.
For sure, absolutely. I know you're kind of locked into it, but we'll move on because we've talked a lot of Jay and a lot of Logan. I want to make sure we go to some comments here real quick. We got our man Nick. He says, "What's up, everybody? We appreciate you dropping in on YouTube, bro. Thanks a lot." And he asked, "Why wasn't Annie involved in the draft?" Annie was a busy woman on Sunday. She
Yeah,
was a busy woman.
yeah.
She was on the move. We would have
Oh,
loved to have her and Kevin
totally.
involved in the draft, but hey, the draft, we're still putting stuff together for that in terms of all the names that were drafted. Then we're gonna put it out there for you guys out there in the household to judge who had the best promotion. But yeah, and busy. We would have loved to have her, but I got to stay here with Monday Night Raw. Now that we've looked at some of the comments here, and one thing that is, I have to show love real quick to the Judgment
Mhm.
Day. And the reason why I have to show
Yeah.
love to the Judgment Day
Mhm.
is because after all this time, after everything has happened with Edge starting the group, then
Mhm.
Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley being involved in the group, then they took a hard pivot and brought Finn Balor into the group and kicked out Edge, and then it became what it became. Dominic Mysterio gets involved in it, and finds his way. JD McDonough finds
Mhm.
his way. All the point is, all this time later, they're still pivotal in Monday Night Raw storylines, and we saw that continue because not only did we see the prodigy Roxanne Perez move on
Like,
in a triple threat match to
uh-huh.
qualify for Money in the Bank ladder match, we all saw Finn Balor recruiting Roxanne Perez for the
Yes.
Judgment Day.
And a few weeks ago, didn't we see them on the side when someone was having an interview done, and they were talking. They were nothing but
Yep.
whispers. And
Yep.
and I don't know. I don't know how much I like this, but we're going along with it now. But I honestly think it's might be too soon for uh, Roxanne to be involved in the Judgment Day. I'm like, why? Let her.
Let
I don't
me
know.
let me throw some let me throw something
Yes,
at you. Let me
because
throw something at you
I want her
because
to stand on her own. So go ahead. Go ahead.
because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this. I am a massive fan of Roxanne Perez. I think she's just incredible. I mean in ring, she's good on the mic. She loves wrestling. She's going to be a star for
Right.
many years to come. She's so young, so young. But here's what I think about the psychology of the Roxanne Perez character
Mm-hmm.
progressing in WWE. When Roxanne was in NXT,
Mm-hmm.
she was smart enough to know, hey, I need Cora Jade so I can have somebody that's going to watch my back.
Sure.
And and then when she came up to the main roster, she was smart enough to know, hey, I need Julia here to watch my back.
Sure.
And now that Julia's on SmackDown, guess what? The prodigy Roxanne Perez, who's smart, who knows that locker room is like piranhas out there, and if you're on
Absolutely.
your own, you
Shark
can
Tank.
you can. She's smart enough to know, hey, the Judgment Day, I can get involved with that. I need them to watch my back. I think this is who Roxanne Perez is as a character, is that she's smart enough to know, hey, I need people who's got, eyes behind me, you know?
Smart. And you know what, Con? How many times in your own personal career in wrestling, it's all about who you know.
Yep.
People vouch for you. People open doors for you that you otherwise wouldn't open yourself. Smart. And that one thing to Roxanne Perez's credit, she she watches. And then when she locks in, she gets what she wants.
Yes,
So
she does.
and she gets it effectively. And so does Liv Morgan.
Ooh, see, this is what I'm prepared. I'm ready for the butting of heads of
Ah,
Liv Morgan,
as soon as
Roxanne
Michael
Perez,
Cole,
because
mhm,
she's not gonna like. I'm just saying, Liv's not gonna
mhm.
like it.
As soon as Michael Cole said that Liv Morgan was in Japan filming for a movie, I was instantly hooked. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Liv Morgan is not gonna like another younger. I don't know if more attractive, but more vindictive
Mm-hmm.
person, more territorial than herself, is gonna like that. There's another person in the picture.
And listen, she's using the same tactics everybody uses on Dominic Mysterio, and that's just get him some nuggies and he's good. He's good if you get him some nuggies. Why does this man have like such a roster? Like, what is so special about him? Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Tiffy Time, and now Roxanne Perez. What's special? He's got a whole lineup. I can't believe this.
Um, I don't know. Couldn't see it. Couldn't place it. Couldn't place it. Like
Maybe the
gross. It's
mustache?
the beady little eyes. Like I feel like Mysterio is that person you try and catch in a trap. So I'm good. I'm good. Like
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know. Just I
Dom is something. Dom is something
something
for
is
sure.
true.
We
Something.
don't know what he is.
Don't know what he
Nick
is.
says they need Dom to cheat on Liv with Roxanne. I don't know if that's
No, Roxanne
gonna happen.
is going to use what she knows about Dom, gather intel, manipulate him to her advantage,
Yep.
and who cares if she uses his feelings against him? Because like His character shows that he's easy to manipulate.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So
100% easy to
Roxanne knows what
manipulate.
she's doing, and it doesn't need to involve a love affair.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. And this is what I like about Roxanne Perez. Like I said, she's like 23, 24, somewhere
Yes.
around there. Like
Yes.
the amount of time that she has left is like insane. Like, or ahead of her is insane. And like I was just saying this on Sunday's show
Mhm.
that as somebody who's been close to wrestling and been been involved in wrestling and whatnot, just seeing it, I feel like wrestlers peak and are in their prime when they're in their 30s.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
in that
For sure.
30 range, right? That's
And
when you're at your absolute
right.
peak, your
And it's
absolute
so
apex.
I had a similar thought when I was watching that qualifying triple threat match for the women's Money in the Bank.
Mhm.
Roxanne being young 23 in the ring with Natalia and Becky Lynch, like the best of the best of the best. Like these are the
Yeah.
women that are putting you over, that are gracious
Yep.
enough to like, be pinned 1, 2, 3. Like that is a great act of service. And the fact that two women who have the the career accomplishments that they do, and to pull Roxanne Perez up like that,
Mm.
it's a testament to where she's headed. So people don't
God,
have to do
yes.
things like that for you.
Nope.
Like Becky and Natty, they both have they have say in what the outcome is. I mean, or how things are shaped. So Roxanne is doing the right things.
She's
So,
gonna go far and she's going to be good for many, many, many
mhm,
years to come. I don't even think she's as good as she is now, and
mhm,
she's really good. I seriously don't think she's anywhere near her prime because I stand on what I said that I don't think pro wrestlers peak until they're in their 30s when they fully understand how to take care of their body,
mhm,
the understanding of cutting promos, the
mhm.
psychology that goes into wrestling and all that stuff. I think you have the full like realm of understanding of all that when you're in your 30s. And I think
Right.
I think her being 23, oh my god,
You
she's
know,
got so much more time.
women hit their prime later than men do,
Ah, well,
which is exactly probably what you're testing to. But at the beginning of the match, I think it was Natty and Roxanne going back and forth, and just the submission holds. And no, it was Becky and Roxanne, like the way that they were going back and forth, they were grabbing submission for submission, hold after hold, and just how they know, like the awareness on the mat, where to pull things out from one point after another. The psychology was just so interesting,
oh my
and
god.
like the interesting back and forth. Like as a grappler, I appreciate when that's just laced into a match. So it was just really pretty to watch. So
I'm glad that you said that
mhm,
because I was watching that match. I remember
mhm,
I vividly remember watching that match, and I got to show love. We were just showing love to Roxanne Perez.
mhm,
I personally got to show love to Natalia because I'm somebody that's been critical of Natalia just because I just feel like I'm not. I think the work she's doing now on like the indies, she just had a show at NWA, then she did something at GCW, and I'm like, I want that on
right,
TV. But
right.
I just always thought that she was a little, stale, But
Mhm.
this past Monday, I
Do
found
you
myself,
mhm,
my wife was watching the show with me, and I found myself audibly saying, "Holy shit, Natty!" She is so good. Like especially when
do
she did
you
that double
yeah,
sharpshooter, I was like,
yeah,
"Holy shit, Natty!" I was like, I see you like that. That got me. I was like that double sharpshooter was insane, and I just thought
mhm,
that I mean, she still, from what I understand, she still trains every
yeah,
day in the hard dungeon. She's just incredible,
and
incredible, and I might have had those feelings of staleness
yeah,
before, but I appreciate Natty. She's incredible.
And you know what? During that moment, that exact moment you were talking about, I'm looking at Roxanne and Rock and Becky, and I'm like, reach for the freaking rope. It's right there. It's right there. Like my fight IQ is just like chiming and going off in all in different ways. I'm like, but have you ever thought that maybe she steps back intentionally as to not outshine the people she's in the ring with?
Yes.
And maybe
Yes,
that's why it comes
I
up
see the
as
vision
tail.
now. Yep, I see the vision now because Natty is going to is it's going to be tough to say this just because
Mhm,
she's in the Guinness Book of World Wrestlers for or in world records for most wins in professional wrestling. Like
mhm,
she's
mhm,
there. Like
mhm.
and she's had women's title runs and she's had her moments. So it's gonna be it's hot takey for me to say this, but I'm gonna say it. I think Natty's best work is going to be what she does behind the scenes
Uh, you know what?
when that
And
time comes. It's already
sure,
happening.
sure. I agree. I agree. And
I think she's gonna mold so much great talent.
I think she
So much great
has
talent.
a couple more years on the main roster, and then we'll see her. We won't see her behind the curtain, but she will definitely be there.
I'm telling you, when that time comes, because I see it. I see some of the stuff that she does, like when she posts videos of her in the dungeon and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I'm telling you, that is where people go where they when they want to get better. And
You
I
know
think
what?
that Natty puts a lot of pride into the dungeon. And I think that I think she's gonna do great things as like a coach, mentor, all that. She's gonna be great.
You know, and I think people should kind of put her on a higher pedestal because if Natty, where she is in her career, she's still training every day, still refining the fundamentals like over and over and over again. So can other people. I'm just going to be a little
I was
critical.
gonna
I'm going to be a
listen,
little critical. Really hope
listen.
people listen to that.
I was gonna say, don't get me talking
All
about
caps.
these
All
indie.
caps.
Don't get me talking about these indie talents. Like y'all, like some of them get into a stride and then they stop training. And it's like you said, if Natty Neihard can refine the basics every single day,
Mhm,
so can you. Uh, but we do got to move on here. We got to keep pushing.
mhm,
We still got other things to talk about on Monday Night Raw. And we just talked about a women's qualifying match that happened for Money in the Bank. We got to switch gears really quick because we got to go to the other qualifying match that went down.
ugh,
And yeah, this
ugh.
one,
It's
man,
still taking up rent in my head. Oh my god. Oh my
So
god.
we
Mhm.
so we have for you guys out there in the household, we had another women's triple threat match to qualify for Money in the Bank. It involved Rhea Ripley, a returning Kyrie Sane who hadn't wrestled since I think like
It was a
October,
long
November,
time.
something. It was a
It was
long
a long
time.
time. Do you re It was a
And
hand injury, but do you remember what happened?
I don't remember what happened.
Mhm.
I'd have to look it
Here,
up to
it's all good.
honestly,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then it involved one of my personal favorites. You guys could go back and listen to a lot of any episode where we
Any
talk about
episode.
Zoe Stark, and I'm just like, I love her. I think she's one of the best
So
overall
underrated.
wrestlers. She's underrated. She
So
reminds me
underrated.
of the. I've said she reminds me of the female AJ
She's
Styles. Like
insane. She is an insane wrestler. Like,
insane wrestler and as huge I'm a huge fan of her, so I was like Zoe Stark is wrestling, bet I'm locked
right.
in because
Oh,
anytime she
yeah.
gets TV time I'm locked in because I am a fan of her work.
As
I
soon as
am a
that match
fan of
was
her.
announced and I saw Zoe Stark's name, I'm like, "Alright, it's on."
Right. Because I love Zoe. I gush about Zoe. Once again, you guys out there in the household, if you know, you know. This is why it sucks so bad. This match turned into a complete shit show, and not to say the match was bad,
Mhm,
but it's because what happened. So Zoe has this killer move, awesome move. One of who I think she's has one of the best drop kicks in the business.
mhm.
A springboard missile
She
drop
gets
kick.
some air. She
Yeah,
leapt like half the distance of the ring. Like
yeah,
she got really high too.
yeah. And she came down, and it looked like her knee buckled and blew out. And I was like, as soon as I saw it, Annie,
I
as
saw that.
soon as
Yep.
I saw it, I was like, I told
Yep.
my wife, I was like, her knee's blown out. It's
Yep.
blown out.
Yep.
And I was immediately hand on my head, just like this right here, just like this. I'm like, fuck.
I'm like,
Because
oh,
she's
this
had
is
like
serious.
four different knee
Very
injuries.
serious.
Like,
As someone who sustained serious knee injuries, like
yeah,
I know the path that it takes to, go through the rehab, the mental toll it takes. Like my heart just broke for Zoe Stark because I know the disappointment, the
yeah.
setback,
Em-
and like
Embarrassment of
and
that happening and you can't
yes,
get up on
yes,
national TV.
and and you know what? There are a lot of people who are willing to finish matches when the injury is that severe. And obviously,
Yeah,
like Zoe's case was different, but when
she couldn't.
people are willing to do that with their bodies for the sake of our entertainment, like I'm getting emotional just talking about it. Like just such gratitude I have for these
Same.
athletes. I do a lot of high risk movements with my body being in
Hmm.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like it's
Yeah,
things get real very quickly, very very
yeah,
very quickly, and hopefully it's not career altering, you know and damn, I really wanted to see Zoe Stark finish this match.
yeah. As soon as the camera started coming off of her, and they were starting really focusing on what Kyrie and another red flag was how quick that
Yes.
medical
Yes, that
assistant
that
came in.
big,
He slid in
serious,
the ring
big
super
British
fast.
looking dude who jumped in the ring,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, no.
Yep. I was like,
Oh,
so he
no."
slid in the ring super fast, and the camera started
Yeah.
altering to
Yep.
Kyrie and Rhea, and I was like,
Mhm.
fuck,
You know,
fuck.
I saw footage of it, posted on social media after, and that exact moment where her knee shifted, and then when I saw it, when I rewatched
Yeah.
Raw, I'm like, "Oh god." Oh, and
Yeah.
you know what? Like, that's something that it could have been, incremental, and it just wasn't one isolated, um, movement that where it just happened. Like, it was probably a
Yeah.
series of that. I've had plenty of MRIs in my time, and
Yeah.
it's just something that is it's just a freak accident, and there's nothing that you can really do to prevent it because you don't feel pain. But
Hmm.
after sustaining a series of shock to the joint, like it's just something that it could just builds up, and it unfortunately just happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate it. I hate it because I'm always a huge supporter
Right.
of Zoe Stark. I
Right.
love her work so much, I mean, the less important part of this is the fact that Zoe Stark was literally there to take the pin. Like they weren't gonna have they wasn't gonna have Kyrie take the pin because
Right.
it was her first match back in months,
How
and it just
disappointing for her too. you
exactly.
know
This is why I said it was a shit show because
it was.
like literally everybody nobody won from it. Like
Right.
did Rhea Ripley win the
Ooh.
match? Yeah, but that was designed to win. Like it was
Mm,
designed that way. She didn't look any better for it. Kyrie lost on her return.
right.
We don't have Zoe Stark. We don't have a time frame on her injury right now.
Right.
This was to me this match, not because the match was bad or anything
Mhm.
like that, but because the circumstances. This was just a lose 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 across the
Right.
board.
Rhea might have won the match, but no one won.
Yeah,
Because I saw the look of worry and concern on Rhea's face, and like
yeah,
like she was assessing what was going on, and these women,
yeah.
they're friends. It's a
Yep.
women in the business. There's an unspoken sisterhood.
Sure.
Like you're always worried about someone's well-being. Your life is in each other's hands. Like that's not a bond that's a bond that not a lot of humans get to have, and I knew she was just crushed. I
Yeah.
knew, like, and in that moment, like, the show has to go on, the match has to continue
Yes.
because, like, it's nothing you just stop. And just so much credit to Rhea and
Kudos
Kyrie,
to all those women.
yeah,
Kudos to
finishing
all
the
those
match
women.
because it sucked,
Finishing the match. Yep.
and that's
It
not
was a
something.
shitty ass
Right.
circumstance,
Nothing
and
you
they were
can
pros,
outright,
complete pros.
because it gets real really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I once again just love to Zoe Stark, speedy recovery.
Mhm.
If you guys know out there, like I said, that's one of my personal favorites. So shout out to her. Uh, I hope yeah, once again speedy recovery and all that, and hopefully she can come back strong and do what she does best, and that's be one of the best overall wrestlers in that ring. I say that confidently because I watch her anytime she comes on my TV. So once again, speedy recovery. So I mean, no really easy segue out of that, honestly.
Mhm.
So I'm not even gonna try. But I mean, once again, this was a Monday Night Raw where we're seeing things go down. We have Austin Theory and everything going on with him and Grayson Waller. Sheamus beats Grayson Waller. Not a whole lot of things going on there
Mhm.
because it seems like that Austin Theory Grayson Waller thing. It's just I don't know where that's going. I'm not gonna lie
Mhm.
to you. Like
Right.
they've been teasing this turn, maybe possibly turn. One turns on the other, or something for a few months now. And honestly, it's been going on so long that I just don't even care about it anymore.
And that's fair. I mean, you have to give us something to care about. It's like, you know, um, I think one of them can really highly benefit from a face turn and a heel turn. So it's like,
Sure.
let's get to the point, because
Yeah,
that's where
let's just get
I'm
there.
at.
Let's
That's where I'm at.
like I don't like I understand like oh you got to be
Mhm.
patient blah 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 you got to yeah. Listen, I think we've been patient with this
But
one.
yeah,
Austin
not
Theory
every
was getting some
storyline
pretty
needs
loud
that.
chant. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not
Austin Theory was getting some pretty loud chants on Monday.
yeah.
If you're gonna do it, just do it. Like that's all I got for that. If you're gonna pull the
Please,
trigger, just do it.
please, please do it.
Um, so you got that going on. Everything continued that's going on with El Grande Americano and Penta, and AJ's in that mix with the Judgment Day. Once again, that I just wanted to bring that in there just because this is just mid card things that are kind of
Mhm,
flowing, and there's really like it's not meaty. It's not meaty right now
mhm,
because you have so much other things going on, whether it be the rise of Roxanne Perez,
mhm,
coming up in the women's roster, Money in the Bank qualifiers. That's the big things that we're talking about. Saturday night main event, Jey Uso, Logan Paul,
mhm.
we got that. So everything else is just kind of like middling right now, because we have main things going on, but I gotta stay with the world heavyweight title scene because we had Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso in the main event, and that ended in in
Mhm.
disqualification
Right.
because we saw Seth Rollins come in.
Mhm,
I want to get some of your thoughts because this world heavyweight title scene is getting extremely top heavy. I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but I want to get some of your thoughts because we have John Cena on the other side, who is Jey Uso's, his counterpart right there as a
mhm,
champion, and Jey Uso is really holding it down as the weekly champion, the guy that's there every single week. And Cena, his schedule is light by design, so I'm not ripping on that or anything like that. But Jey Uso's been the guy, and the
mhm,
guy has a lot of cats are trying to come up and push him off the mountaintop. You got Gunther, you got Seth Rollins and his faction. You know what I'm saying? You got Logan Paul coming up and nipping at you. This World Heavyweight Championship scene is getting pretty heavy, and I want to get some of your thoughts. The World Heavyweight Championship and the Undisputed Championship. Where's the lure at for you now between one and the other?
I'm coming to a point where I'm wanting it to pop off soon because there are so many working elements all at once that when are we going to reach the boiling point? but I
Yeah.
know it has to be a slow burn so um that Jay Uso can have all of these things that he's dealing with all at once, and it's going to shape him as a huge top guy like we were talking about earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But and week after week he is holding it down, but I really want to see there's been you know Seth has had run-ins in the past couple of weeks, but when is his next match?
So yeah,
It's going to be at Saturday. Yeah, they're in the tag
that
match,
tag
but
match. Yep.
right. But when are we going to see the next page? Because I see a lot of talk,
Hmm.
but oh, when is the next piece of business going to pop off because of this? Will it be at Saturday night main event? It's a slow burn that I wish we could just get to the next point.
If it was up to me,
Mhm,
I would really have things pick up its Saturday night main
mhm,
event. And the reason that I say that is because right now you have on one side CM Punk and Sami Zayn and World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso as a trio that's trying to hold the fort down and keep WWE from out of the clutches of Rollins and Breaker and Heyman.
mhm,
Now, the thing here, Annie, is that where there's three wrestlers on one side, there's only two on the other side. Because Heyman obviously is not an active competitor; he's a
mhm,
manager.
mhm.
So if it were up to me, and I think there's a possibility, I think things could pick up at Saturday Night Main Event, and we can see a third member of Heyman's faction come into play and assist them at Saturday Night Main Event.
Would it be John Cena?
That would be interesting, but I think they're going to
Mhm.
keep those. I think they're going to keep those two
Separate?
separate. I think John Cena
Mhm.
is going to be a thing, and the Seth Rollins Heyman faction is going to be a thing. Right now I can't tell you who it's gonna be because part of me thought it might have been Austin Theory, but Austin Theory is back stuck in the muck with this
Mhm.
Grayson Waller thing,
Yeah.
and it seems like if he's still fighting with Waller on Monday, and then all of a sudden he's showing up in the helping out Heyman's crew on Saturday. There's a whole middle area right there where it's like, okay, what happened? How did we get
Right.
here?
Right.
How did we get from here to here?
Could it be Logan Paul? Cuz, he's wedging himself into this scene.
He
I feel
is.
like he'd be a viable candidate.
He's a viable candidate. My only issue with Logan Paul is
Mhm.
that he's still so much focus that like he kind of almost has to be on his own unless he's the
Mhm.
one running the faction.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Then it's going to be someone who can benefit from being
Exactly.
okay.
Somebody who could
Mhm.
benefit from it because like Logan Paul or not, he can go out there on his
Mhm.
own and generate his own
Sure.
heat, have his own matches and be in the World Heavyweight Championship scene. I really thought that it was going to be anybody in that slot. It was going to be once again Austin Theory, but I don't know who it could be. Maybe somebody like an Ethan Page if they want to do a call up. That's the thought,
It's a
but
good one.
I, to be completely honest with you, I don't know who it would be.
I mean, what do you think about a betrayal from Sami Zayn?
I I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I really
Mhm.
did, and I don't hate it.
Mhm.
The only thing that comes to my mind, just because that's how my mind works and like
Mhm.
logically and stuff like that,
Sure.
is if he was going to turn and join the faction, why would he not just take Heyman's offer in the very beginning and say, hey, leave Raw. I've negotiated a deal for you to go to SmackDown, and you'll face the winner of, Randy Orton versus John Cena. So why go through all that when you could have put yourself in a position to be in the championship situation in SmackDown just to say, nah, screw you and fight with you guys and then turn at Saturday Night Main Event.
Sure,
Do
sure.
I like the idea? Yeah, I definitely don't hate it. I just
Then
I
that
don't know
yeah,
what
you're right. Then that whole, side quest wouldn't have needed to happen then.
exactly.
But
That's
yeah,
my
it
mindset.
that would have been, just a wasted element that was actually really interesting, so
But it's tough to say what they're gonna do. Part of me just feels like they're because they're kind of playing it safe after WrestleMania, because we saw them throw a lot of curveballs on the road to WrestleMania. It was actually really exhilarating, a
Mhm.
lot of the things that they did. But I think now that we're only going into Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank is an agent of chaos in itself, I think they're gonna be a little formulaic leading up to Money in the Bank.
Yes, it is a Kevin Calloway. Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
It is. It truly is. It truly is. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I think that we're leading into Saturday Night Main Event. I think it's going to be pretty predictable, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to be a good show. So if you choose to tune in, you guys certainly should. I just think it's going to be a predictable show. I think we're really going to get our money's worth June 7th at Money in the Bank. But up until then, it's going to be a formula, ladies and gentlemen. I don't
It
know what
is.
else to say.
It is.
It's not. They're just going to be spinning wheels. There's not going to be anything that's going to blow your mind up until Money in the Bank. That's just how I see it. That's what I think. And we're just gonna keep on rolling and do what we do here, and that's talk Monday Night Raw at the Raw Deal with Howse Annie O'Neal. Annie, this was a great episode. I know that you're gonna be riding off into the sunset. You and Kevin are celebrating 2 years together, so congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you.
You hope you guys have a great evening and enjoy that. But before we slide out of here, I got give you an opportunity to plug anything that you want to plug, upcoming appearances, where they can catch Divinely Designed Annie O'Neal.
Tomorrow I will be returning to CCW for our weekly studio series in New Baltimore, Michigan. But this weekend, Frontline Pro will be having the biggest show of the year at Honor Bound. I'll be on the call with Steve Arent. That's going to be a lot of fun. My friend Rory Shields, she will be in the Liberty Division match where there'll be the first ever Liberty Division champion. So
Ooh,
that's going to be fun. Um, yeah, then that's in the gym, training. That I'm up to everything and nothing. So that's what's going on for me. How about you, Con?
awesome, awesome. You know what I'm doing. That's going to be doing my thing right here in your house. We just had our IYH draft, and now we're back doing our things on Wednesday here at the Raw Deal. Tomorrow I'll be back with my man Voice for the ECW watch along, and I'm just chilling, doing the thing. I don't have any bookings coming up as of right now, which that could quite possibly change because I do have a lot of things in the works and people want me to jump on shows and go here and go there. So I might have some things coming up. Once I do, I'll let you guys know. But hey, right now I'm just chilling, producing, enjoying what I'm doing here for In Your House and all these great creators here, because it's all a part of the work, and that's HOWSE, and that W stands for work. So for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neal and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. And your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.